Alright, first thing first, my hair is looking terrible. Not that I'm, insecure about it or anything. And secondly, a bit of a capitalism trigger warning. Only because I'm basically going to do somewhat of a run through like the Black Friday stuff. And the type of content that I like to consume is a lot of like e-commerce business stuff, where money and financials are spoken about quite openly. But then the second you kind of do that in the parkour space, you get these people who, I don't think many people watching this are going to be like that. But yeah, I don't know. I just suddenly realised that there's probably some people who'd be like, no, it's not all about money. Well, it's like, well, I'm running a business. I'm trying to make money here. Also, I really should not be doing this. I've got fucking so much other stuff to do, but I told myself I was going to do it this morning, so I'm doing it. It is Monday the 5th of December. Royal Mail is royally fucking a lot of stuff up, so we're in a rush to kind of move everything up. Yeah, basically they've moved their last order dates forward, back, closer. Therefore, we've got to get stuff out. We've kind of accelerated some of our campaigns. We just ran a free shipping sale. So rather than like pushing, the Christmas sales a week or two longer, we've tried to accelerate that process, and now we've got to get the orders out and fulfill it. So how was Black Friday? I don't know why I'm looking at my phone. I've got my notes on my laptop here. Pretty good. Leading up to it was chaotic. I think I last time was ill because Daisy got ill, and then I had a lot of time not in the office, which was tough. A lot of time not on my laptop looking after her. Got everything sorted out, put a lot of things in place with regards to the website, specific landing pages, which I think definitely helped. Tried to kind of have a landing page for Black Friday and then Cyber Monday that had kind of every single offer we were running on it, whether that was just like, here's all the t-shirts, here's how much they're priced off, and then also like, oh, if you combo these things, you'll get £10 off. Setting that up, there were definitely a few issues with regards to compatibility of like implementing a new thing with the draw cart and then the landing page, and lots of time just spent with various customer service teams, just making sure that it all, like, basically just doing lots of tests, making sure that it all fucking worked. And it did. A couple of issues with like discount code implementation. Saw the same thing yesterday actually with a free shipping code. I need to get to the bottom of it. It's weird. You like set up a code, worldwide free shipping, and then some people who live in America are like, why can't I use it? And yeah, so yeah, I think the thing that I always need to know, where I said this in the last one, is like whether or not building out those landing pages, whether or not doing all that stuff, changing how the cart has a sort of a bit more urgency in it, having some upsells in there, how much that actually moves the needle compared to whether or not if we just said, hey, Black Friday discounts, go. The risk is that if we do that and then it doesn't perform as well, obviously we'd be like, oh fuck, should have put more effort in. So revenue is pretty good. Like, we've had bigger Black Fridays, but that's been when we've had, basically the year after we released Soul Destroyer, we had a lot of more like high-end stock, higher priced products. We had a lot more sort of just better stuff on the website, and a few newer things. The issue with like doing a Black Friday when you've only got old stock, not that everything we did was old, but like if somebody looked at a t-shirt online for, let's say, 3 months and they haven't already bought it, they've pretty much made their mind up. If that t-shirt, if that's like a 70, 80 pound pair of trousers, and then you drop that price by, let's say, 20 quid, maybe they couldn't buy it because the 80 quid was too expensive, and they're like, fuck, it's only going to be 60 for a few days, I'm going to snap this up. That's why the trigger warning, because we're talking about kind of, in some degrees, a lot of Black Friday is based around, manipulation of people's sort of FOMO of not wanting to miss out on a price and things like this. But when it comes to like a t-shirt, which is sort of slightly lower cost, obviously there's people around the world who might not be in a financial position to ever afford these things. But for like, let's say your standard UK sort of, student who goes to university or lives with their mum or whatever, a £25 to £32 t-shirt over, let's say, a 3-month period, if they really fucking wanted that thing, they could probably get the money together and buy it. So 3 months later, when you knock the price off a bit, you're kind of scraping up the people who are like, fuck it, go on then, rather than the people who seriously desire that product. So yeah, which never, ideally, I think you want the customer who's truly going to want that thing and really benefit from that thing, rather than somebody who's just going, fuck it, it's on deal, I'll get it. But yeah, that's just stuff that goes on in my head. So one hindsight thing I did have was, we obviously did the whole Bloggy's Black Friday bargains. Loads of fun to shoot, loads of fun to come up with the ideas, loads of fun for like Bloggy to sort of put that character on, and we had a lot of fun doing it. Two major things. I think a lot of the assets we put out could have been a lot more direct, i.e. like, big fucking words on screen, Black Friday sale now on, boom, 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 boom. Like really getting that call to action there. And also a lot of people watch reels and stories on their phone with the sound off, myself included. I utilised captions a couple of times here and there, but I didn't really create space within those assets to do that neatly. So yeah, lesson learned, I think. Not saying that's like I couldn't really see the difference there, but it's something that as the time went on, I was like, shit, there's a lot of these stories that people are probably going tap, tap, tap. They all kind of look the same. And yeah, at the end of the day, the biggest thing you want to basically be reminding the customer is go to the fucking website and check out the cheap stuff. But we had a lot of fun. So, no major stock out issues. We didn't if anything, I maybe bought a bit too much stock prior, but that's fine because we can continue to sell it. We ran out of hat boxes, so I'm still sending out hats not in boxes, which never feels nice. Like, we sold a lot of hats, and I like hats going out in boxes because, I mean, people might see this and then receive one in a week's time and it will be in a bag, and I'm sorry about that. We simply couldn't. I'm still fucking waiting on boxes, basically, because Royal Mail has just caused, and this is the really fucking annoying thing, like, I'm all for striking. I think if there's a big problem with a system and people want to strike, then fucking do it. It's great. But they obviously did it at a very strategic time, which is the busiest shopping time of the year, and it meant that, I mean, I've got bags of orders that are sitting by that door that should have gone out on Friday, and they just never got picked up. And I didn't think there was a strike happening on Friday, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I've got customers in the UK who were like, ordered their stuff on Thursday because we did VIP access, which actually performed really, really well. And it took over a week for that shit to be delivered, which is not ideal, and a lot of people kind of sending me angry emails, and I'm just trying to basically go, look, like, you've got the tracking number, you can see that it left us on this day, it just simply is stuck in the system. That is definitely something that is, I think, really important and hard sometimes, is you've just got to keep try and maximize how quickly you are responding to customer service emails and keep things happy. You'll get the occasional frustration, whether it's a discount code not working or an order being late or something like this. But the thing that you have to do, and I actually read this in a book again last night, I've heard it a few times. It's a really good book called Delivering Happiness, which is made by the guy, written by the guy who started, can't remember, he died a couple of years ago. Delivering Happiness. It's a Zappos, American shoe brand, shoe wholesaling company. Got bought by Amazon, and it's all about like incredible customer service, really, at the root of it. And what you have to do is, if somebody's expectation is like here, like they send an email and they're like, fuck, I'm probably gonna, it's a Saturday, I'm probably gonna be waiting till Monday to hear back from this. If it comes through on my phone, sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want to fucking deal with this shit right now. And then it's like, you just have to go like, because it's me at the end of every single customer service email, realistically. You just have to kind of go like, take the 2 minutes and just quickly respond, because if that person's expectation is here and you then get to it here, they're in a better position. They're like, oh, sick, you've got back to me. So like, even yesterday on a Sunday, I was sorting out address changes and things, and like, granted, I'm not gonna really do it when I'm spending one-on-one time with Daisy, but if Daisy's down for a nap and maybe I do just want to chill for an hour, I'm like, fuck, I've got to do these things, because I think that is where you keep people in a good place. You create cheerleaders for your brand, dude. Speaking of email, sorry, I'm kind of jumping from my notes and then not We did. Oh, I'm using the mouse for the computer that I'm filming on for my laptop, which is down here. It's a really fucking strong email. I mean, like I hammered it out. A lot of emails. You do get people unsubscribing. Some people find it fucking annoying, but typically the people you lose through unsubscribing probably weren't that type. Like, some people respond really well to email marketing, others just don't care for it. They'd rather see an Instagram advert or an Instagram post or whatever. So, you know, let's say we lose a few subscribers on the email, we make up for that in thousands of pounds worth of revenue that comes from email. We actually did like 40% of our Black Friday revenue through email, predominantly through campaigns. So email campaigns that we have, like automated flows, like abandon checkout things, which I briefly spoke about in the last episode. That actually did like just over 5%, which isn't, I mean, I'm specifically looking at the Black Friday weekend. Campaigns is typically where you're going to be getting most of the traffic because, so like 35 campaigns, about 5 for flows. But yeah, like email has proven time and time again to be really, really effective. And as I said, I think in the last one, it's like, I'm really glad I taught myself that skill set. Looking at Shopify, hold on, let me just check my notes. So AOV was something that I definitely wanted to boost this year. We definitely boosted that, which is really nice. I'm happy with that. Also, conversion rate I managed to boost up. We actually did slightly less sessions on the website compared to last year for Black Friday, like those 4 or 5 days. But hold up, I'm just comparing. Let me just add Thursday in here because I was not comparing. Is this going to change all my stats? There we go. So actually, sessions were up 9% on last year. AOV was still up, conversion rate was still up. Conversion rate almost 5%, which like typically industry average is like 2 to 3, I think. So really strong conversion rate. Orders were up only 10% on last year. So like we didn't do a crazy difference, but we had higher AOV, higher conversion rate. Returning customer rate, pretty solid. And yeah, generally an increase on sales revenue from last year, but nothing like crazy. So all in all, definitely could have gone worse. Obviously, would be great if it went better. But yeah, got to take it for what it is. The biggest downside is the fact that we're fulfilling everything in house and then printing all the orders, and a lot of it has been on my shoulders. I mean, Keelan has been invaluable, basically a massive help during that period. He's now off for a couple of days. It's just a bit of a drain on the mental health because it is like monotonous and repetitive, and you find yourself kind of like, oh fuck, like this person placed an order for like 6 items, and you're like, and you kind of like, that's a lot of manual labor effectively, and then you're like, shit, this person placed a fucking order for 6 items. Like, this person's a legend, but you have to like change that perspective. Anything else that I should talk about? But yeah, it's predominantly that. It's like the orders sucks, and we're moving away from that as time goes on, but it's just getting everything from the factory in place, and sort of the whole manual fulfillment, the whole printing in-house is a great like spoke to the wheel, but it should not be the only thing we rely on, and currently it really is, and that's purely just from like this cash position that we're in. Is trying to keep things really kind of liquid and fluid, and making sure that we don't tie up too much money in the wrong place. So, but anyway, speaking of orders, I keep fucking wanting to refer to myself as daddy, and not in like a sexual way, but just in the amount of times I'm now around the house. I was about to say, speaking of orders, daddy's got to go and do this, and it's because at home now I am daddy, and that's how I refer to myself. Is, oh, daddy's going to go upstairs, daddy's going to do this, which is crazy, isn't it? But yeah, somebody commented on the fact that I was happier in the last video and I was wearing a yellow hoodie, and maybe that's the factor, but now I'm wearing black and grey and I feel pretty similar. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you find these interesting, if you want to hear more. I think I said last time I've got some ideas I want to do of like, you know, favourite business books that have helped me and things like that. Speaking of the not speaking of the future, but one thing we're going to try and do this week is a bit of an annual review with the guys, and then sit and really make some like strategic goals and targets for next year, which is something we've always been quite bad at, is actually setting like tangible targets and then breaking them down and working towards them. But we feel like we're in a pretty good place to take that more seriously, because if we're not going to take it seriously, it's not going to fucking work. And yeah, I'll finish with a quote. If anyone's still here wondering about that London project, the quote I quite like is, we massively overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but underestimate what we can do in 10 years. So yeah, might have, as people said, I might have bitten off more than I can chew, but we'll see what happens. Right now it's about getting through the next couple of weeks, and then we're going to be fucking rapidly into next year before we know it. So wow, look at that, 15 minutes non-stop talking. Goodbye, love you lots. I hope this actually recorded. Oh Christ, what am I doing? All streams are recording. Click that stop recording.